Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome back. Do you remember this folio? So this is sort of the one I showed you last Saturday night. It is the same build, but you'll notice this one is a cream color where that one was white. Here's what happened. I decided that me and Shannon were both going to make one of these, and Shannon was going to work on this one and I was going to work on the white one. Well, when I was looking at this one with Shannon and I was like, ooh, it'd be cute if we did this and cute if we did that, Shannon's like, what if you did this one and let me do a patriotic one? I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So she's working on a patriotic theme one because she does a patriotic party every year, a 4th of July party, and we think it'll be perfect for that. I'm going to do this one, and it's recipe themed, which is my favorite. So let me show you what's happened though. She did get a little bit into the process before I took it over, but no big deal. Now, if you want to see how this one is built, just go back to the last video. We'll link for you guys, but here's the deal. In this one, when I built it, I did go ahead and glue these guys on. So we'll be doing the covering of these a little bit different. And here, what Shannon was doing, instead of making a longer flap, like extending the flap out here, she made a pocket, not really a pocket. She made this little flippy piece that goes like this, which I love. And all she's done here is use the paper pack called What's Cookin' from Simple Stories. That's the one we're using. And so she's just been covering pages. So you can see here, and I'll have to show you this. I'll have to demonstrate this for you to see how this works. But she covered these pages. And let me show you what happens here. So this page, and I'll give you all these dimensions in the blog post because I know we kind of jumped ahead. I didn't mean to. This page comes out, okay, and it is what locks this gatefold down. So remember how I told you that we had that gatefold mechanism that I was really excited about the way we put this guy in? So when this got closed, what we decided to do is we took some of the Maddie's dies, the scalloped border dies, the little corner pieces, and we just glued those onto the page and made this kind of crossover. And then this becomes the latch that locks that little section. Super cool, right? Easy to do. I think you can see how that works. And let me tell you, if you don't have these dies, if you don't have that available, you can just cut a piece of cardstock on an angle and glue it down and then stick a page in there to keep that shut. Now, if you need me to walk through this, let me know. I'll film a video. Maybe I could do a short or something like that to show you exactly how we did this. But I wanted to move forward and just start decorating. So this page is just covered. This is still blank. These are still our pockets. So we're going to run through and finish covering. And then I've got some ideas for recipes and stuff. So let me show you this real quick too. I'm going to be utilizing these recipe cards. All right. So why don't I finish covering this album and then we'll get to the fun part. So I will say this, the Simple Stories packs, you're a little more limited on your paper, okay? I know I want to use this on my cover. I love this plaid, and I've got this piece that I think I want to go on the side, but I don't want to do my cover yet because I don't know what I want to go here. I'd rather cover the inside, so I'm going to sit this aside to use it later. It's perfect for there. But what I'm going to do instead is go to the inside and get everything covered in here. Now, if you remember in the one we did Saturday, I did not install these pockets. I was waiting because I was going to cover those pages and then glue them in. But like I said, this was my template that I made. This is our tester folio. So I had already glued these down. And I do have an extra pocket here that I didn't put in the other folio. But the reason for that is I was just playing with this one where you'll have 3 pockets here. Okay. So you want to go ahead and cover your pockets and then glue them in. I am going to come right here and just measure the size I need for my paper. And the way I do that is I measure the spot and then I take 1/4 of an inch off. So here it's 1 3/4 inches. So I'm going to cut a piece that's 1.5 inches by 8 inches. And you know, I told you when I was building it that you wouldn't have to do this because we weren't going to glue those pieces in yet. So hopefully this makes sense now. So these are my 4 pockets, but mine kind of blend in because I don't have the pages going behind the decorator paper, but on your build you will. This is just a little bit different. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put something to kind of show each pocket is different. And look at these cute little pieces right here. I think I can make tabs out of these, like home with the little hearts and the pie and all that kind of stuff. I think that'll be cute. So I'm going to cut these out. So you can see here, I've cut the little tags out and I folded the tickets out and I folded them over. I kind of want to use the B side, not the side with the writing on them, because I think it'll be cute when I decide what's going where. I might could put, you know, what kind of recipes I'm going to put in this pocket. So here's my plan. Let me show you. I may change that one because it blends in a little bit. Let's move this one here. Do that. And I'm just going to glue these, just sandwiching them over the little pocket, but I want to kind of spread them out evenly across. So each one will have a little tab so you'll know where the pocket starts. You could also just line them up on top of each other. And that might be the way I go. Let me look. I kind of like it like this. I think this kind of looks like file folders. I may go with this route. So I'm going to start gluing these down, and then I can always come back and put a sticker or even stamp a word or something to put in here. I think that'll be cute. It's funny, you guys, I read in one of my comments the other day, somebody was saying, I love watching you do these process videos, and they're like, but I'm always yelling, no, not there, no, not there. And I love that because I think it's funny how we would all do things very differently. And I know there are some of you that are like, no, I love the way you have those tabs. That's the beauty of crafting. We all get to play along and do it the way we want it. And I just love those kind of comments. I'm like, keep yelling, keep yelling. I like it. Sometimes I hear y'all though. Y'all know that. Sometimes I'm like, I hear y'all yelling. So I got my little tabs installed. Now let me see what's going to go in this area. So I put this little piece of wood grain here because I think that's cute. And this is like a conversion chart. It's not really, it's more of a telling you what each of these items is. I just think it's kind of cute here. And I think what I'm going to do is do some little decorative punches to the edges of this. So I think I'll use my scallop punch on the corner. I think that'll be cute. And that'll just dress it up a little bit to go right there. Okay, I'm not going to put anything here or here yet. I don't know how I'm going to do my closure, so I want to leave this for that. I have put aside my piece for the spine here, and I have put aside the piece for the spine here in the front. I'm going to let the back be the very last thing I do and just put what's left over back there. I don't stress too much about the back of these albums. All right, let me show you the next thing I want to do. So I have these two pieces that are 6 by 1, and I'm going to score them in half at 1/2 inch. And these are going to be binder strips because I want to put in some recipe cards, but I want to show you my idea behind that. So this is my recipe card. It's 6 inches long, okay, and I made this little binder strip. Now, if you're like me, most of our recipes need a little more space to write than what they give us on these cards. And I would like to be able to get to the back of the card or even underneath it in this area here. So I'm going to mount this like this with a binder strip and put this onto this little flap so that I can open it and get underneath it to write on it. Does that make sense? And I'm trying to decide if I want to put another card here or maybe just put a piece of white cardstock that I can write on, which might be a good idea there too. Or let me see what my options are. So I've glued that binder strip onto one. I'm going to go ahead and glue it down on one of these flaps. And this is exactly what I'm going to do on all 4 of my flaps, okay, what I'm showing you on this one. So I'm going to glue this one down, just centering it on that flap, just giving myself the same amount all the way around. Just a little bit. There we go. Then I'll lift this up and press that down. Bring this guy in and burnish it. Now look at this. So Shannon had some of these 4 by 6 index cards, which we typically write recipes on, right? Won't this be great if we put this right underneath for extra writing space? And then what I think would be really cool is that up here we put a photo of the recipe. That would be kind of neat too. So I'm going to glue this down here and look at all that space we're giving ourselves. So pick up some of these 4 by 6 index cards for this. This is perfect. All right, I'm going to do all 4. So I'll do this one and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm also going to do these back here. By the way, if you're making this as a gift for someone and you're going to put all the recipes in for them, I would suggest write them on the recipe cards before you install them. That way, if you have any mistakes or you need to replace anything, you can do that before you have it glued in. And it's also a lot easier to write on these recipe cards before they're kind of in situation, because sometimes they're on like a slant or a slope, or there's something behind it. And this just makes it easier if you write the recipes on first. There's also nothing saying you couldn't print the recipes out on 4x6 cards and not have to write it all. But I'm telling you, people love their family members' handwriting, because you're the same way. If you have a card or a letter written from a family member who's gone on, then you love being able to see their handwriting over and over again. All right, so I've got these installed. So you can see here we have the little flip ups. Oops, my glue seeped. There we go. Little flip ups here for recipes, as well as here. Now, I may decide to do some kind of closure or something to hold those down. I don't know. I don't really want to use that many magnets right there, so we can get creative. Maybe just a cute paper clip. What a cute place to put a cute little paper clip to hold things down. That's a good idea. I may do that. All right. Here, I have something special coming. I'm going to have Sylvia create something for us to go right here. That'll be a free printable for you guys, but I won't have that today. But I want to show you, not here, I'm going to not work on this area now, but over here, I have an idea. Okay, so on this flap, this is the one that's inside our little section that opens like a book. I want to do a recipe waterfall, okay? Now, I have thought this out how I wanted this to lay out, and I'm going to do it this way, but I would suggest if you want to have like a magnet closure for your waterfall, think it out ahead of time. I just don't want to do one here, and the reason I don't is because I want this to be the feature at the top, and I don't really have a clean spot to put a magnet. So I'm not going to put a closure on this. Plus, the way it's going to be inside of here, I think it will be fine. If it's not, let me do this, and then you can be like, no, it needs a closure. And if it does need a closure, we can do one after the fact. But when you're making yours, just think ahead, okay? All right, so here's what I've got. I've got this cut apart, which I think is adorable, right? Then I have my recipe cards. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many I'm going to be able to fit here, but what I've done is cut several just 1 inch by 6 inch long pieces that I scored in the middle, and I can use either side of these when I'm putting this in, and we're just going to waterfall this in, okay? So I'm going to start here with this guy, and I'm just going to pick up one of my strips. I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to glue this on to my cut apart. I have to tell you this, my time is short this week because we have a new grandbaby. He was born yesterday morning, and I had a lot of stuff on my calendar this week that I was trying to squeeze in before we got on the road headed to Texas, but we leave this afternoon, and I didn't want to leave you hanging on this album. So you're going to see more from this album. There will be a part 3, but I want to get this done for you guys, and also because I'm anxious to see how this looks. I'm really wanting to play with this. So let's get this placed. So I'm just going to place this. My idea is I'm just going to try to get the same distance all the way around. And I may even be a little higher at the top. I think that looks pretty good up there. Then I'm just going to place in recipe cards till I run out of space is my plan. So I'll glue this one down. And again, I'm just eyeballing it. If you want to measure, feel free to do that. I don't think it really needs to be, as long as we get it pretty straight. And I'm going to look in the camera and see what that looks like. Let's see. Pretty good. And then when you put your, if you spend the time to get this one straight, the other ones will line up perfect for you, okay? So there's that one, and now I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take a recipe card, and I'm going to put a binder strip on it, and we're going to add it next. The cool thing about doing the card this way, you'll be able to write the recipe on the front, and you'll still have the back if you need to write something else on it. And also, you could, if you didn't need both sides, you could add a photo to the back, which would be super cute too. So here's how this is going to install. I'll let you watch me do a couple, and then I'll just get the rest done for us. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll take this little strip and apply glue, and I'll put it right next to the one we laid above it. So in between, all of our little recipes will be pretty patterned cardstock, and we'll get this waterfall effect all the way down. That's how easy a waterfall is. They can be very intimidating, but they're very easy to do. So there's that. We'll do more, and we'll just keep going until I get as close down here as I can. So here it is, all installed. I need to count and see how many we got. So I'm going to flip that one up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you needed 10 in here, you probably could add one more, but I'm going to stop. But if you need that to be an even number, you can do that. And this is what I was saying. I don't want to add a closure here. I didn't want to. I just wanted this to feel like this, but I may come back and add a closure. We'll see about that. The other thing I might do is consider adding a tab to each one of these so we can put the name of the recipe on it, if that makes sense, and then make this not be just so plain. But let me show you why I didn't think it needed a closure. Because of where this lives in the folio, it basically has a closure. You know, this shuts it. So when you open it, yes, it will lift, but I don't really have a problem with that. So I may leave it like that. I think it's good. All right, let me go over here and show you something that we found that I forgot we had that is perfect for this. These guys, these are those, they're Point Planner is the brand, shaped paper clips, and they're by American Crafts. So that's the brand, not Point Planner, but that's the name of them. We have these online and we'll put them in the description for you. But look how cute these are. And you remember how I was telling you that I wanted these to kind of lay down better than they are? Look at this. If we take one of these guys and we place it across, and get that down like that, and we do it like that, it holds both of those down. I'll flip it where you can see it in just a second. Ooh, I might want to use this one instead. Let's see how this one looks. Oh, that's really cute. I'm going to change. No, I think I like the different ones. That's kind of cute too. Okay, so we have it there. And when I flip it over, it holds the back side down too. Isn't that cute? See, I like that with the little paper clip on there. Then we still have this section to do, plus the inside. We have lots of stuff we can do in there. I have a special printable being made for right here for our part 3. I have this whole space to use. If you come in here, we've got all of these done. We still have this space, which I'm having a special printable made for it as well. It'll be a free PDF for you guys too. And then we have all of this space in here that we can work on too. So lots of spaces still to go, not including, or not excluding, I should say, what we get to put in these pockets and what we're going to do here. Then we'll figure out our front and our magnets. And I really like the size of this, y'all. I really like how this is starting to feel. I can't wait to get the covers and stuff on. But thank you so much for allowing me to have a little time off. We are headed to Texas, so I'm not going to do any more work on this just because my time won't allow me to. But if you're working on this, the good thing to do is go ahead and get your pages covered. You know, go ahead and get all of this kind of covered and lined out where you want it, these pages covered. And then when we get back together, we can just keep going and get this guy all finished. All right. Thank you so much for being here for part 2. Until part 3, you guys have a good one. Bye now.